Mama, it's your girl. Open the door.
Nobody was allowed to answer the cry at midnight, not even if it sounded like your own mother screaming your name. For 200 years, the village of Ihiala-Ude kept that law without one exception until the night Bassey heard his dead sister's voice calling from the tree line, and he had to decide whether an old woman's warning was wiser than his own heart. If you enjoy Nigerian folktales that keep you guessing until the very end, consider subscribing because this story only gets stranger from here. The village sat deep inside a rainforest, so thick that sunlight arrived in pieces, scattered gold on the floor like broken plates. Ihiala-Ude smelled of wood smoke and boiling cocoyam, of palm wine fermenting in clay pots behind every hut, of wet leaves after rain. The people farmed yam and hunted grasscutter, and every evening the elders gathered under the udala tree to remind the children of the one rule that mattered more than any other. When midnight came and a voice cried out for help, no matter how familiar, no matter how desperate, you shut your door, you covered your ears, and you did not answer. Nobody remembered exactly why. The oldest woman alive, a small, fierce woman named Nigerian, said only that the forest had a hunger, and the hunger wore the voices of people you loved to get you to open your door. It cannot come in, she would say, tapping her walking stick against the dirt. Your silence is your only war. Bassey had grown up believing this the way he believed the sky was up and the earth was down. He was a quiet young hunter, more comfortable with animal tracks than with people, still grieving his younger sister Arit, who had drowned in the river 2 Hamatans ago. He carried her memory like a stone in his chest, heavy, private, never set down. Then one night, exactly at midnight, he heard her. Bassey, Bassey, please, I'm cold. Let me in. His whole body went rigid. It was Arit's voice, not close to hers, not similar to hers, but hers, the exact pitch, the exact way she used to drag out his name when she wanted something. He sat up in the dark, sweat sliding down his back, staring at his door as it trembled under a soft, pleading knock. His mother, Ekaete, appeared in his doorway, her face grey with fear. "Don't move," she whispered. "Don't you dare move." "That's Arit," Bassey said, his voice cracking. "Mama, that's her." "It is not her," Ekaete said, gripping his wrist so hard it hurt. "It has never been her. Not once in 200 years has the voice belonged to the person it sounds like." But how could a mother be so certain, and why did her hands shake as she said it? The knocking stopped. Silence swallowed the hurt. And in that silence, Bassey noticed something that made his stomach drop. His mother wasn't looking at the door anymore. She was looking at the small wooden box under his sleeping mat, the one that belonged to Arit. The one Ekaete had told him for 2 years contained nothing but old beads. Before I tell you what happened next, if you're enjoying this story, subscribe so you don't miss more Nigerian folktales like this, because what Bassey found inside that box shocked the entire village. At dawn, while his mother slept from exhaustion, Bassey opened it. Inside was not beads. It was a folded piece of cloth, Arit's cloth, the wrapper she had drowned in, except it wasn't wet, wasn't torn, wasn't touched by any river at all. Tucked inside it was a carved wooden figure shaped like a small girl, its mouth stretched unnaturally wide, as though frozen mid-scream. He brought it to Nigerian, and for the first time in his life, He watched the old woman's composure crack. "Your mother made a bargain," she said quietly. "The year Arit drowned, she did not drown, Bassey. She was taken by the voice in the forest. The night your mother broke the rule and opened the door, believing it was you calling for help after a hunting accident. The forest does not simply take what answers. It trades. It offered your mother her daughter's return in exchange for one thing: silence, forever. She was never to tell you the truth, and she was never, ever to let you answer the voice yourself, because the forest always circles back for what it once owned." Bassey felt the floor tilt beneath him. All these years, his grief had been built on a story his own mother constructed to protect him, or to protect the secret she carried. "Then Arit isn't dead. She's out there." "She is out there," Nechidia agreed, "but she is not your sister anymore, not fully. The forest wears her like a coat. It has worn her for 2 years, learning your voice, your mother's voice, waiting for the night one of you would be weak enough to open that door." That night, the knock came again, gentler this time, almost tender. "Bassey, I forgive you for not helping me. Just open the door and see my face one more time." His hand actually touched the latch. It was his mother's scream, a real one, human, terrified, that stopped him. She had woken and thrown herself against his back, weeping, begging, and in her weeping he heard something truer than any voice at the door. Love that had lied to protect him, but never once left him. He did not open it. By morning, the wooden figure had crumbled to ash on his windowsill, and somewhere far in the trees, a bird that had never been heard in that forest before began to sing, thin, sorrowful, and unmistakably human. Nobody in Ihiala-Ude ever learned whether that was Arit finally freed or Arit finally gone. But Bassey understood at last why the old rule existed. Not because the voices lied, but because love makes us believe the truth is a small price to open one door. If this story moved you, subscribe for more Nigerian folktales where the scariest thing is never the monster in the dark, but what we're willing to do for the ones we've lost.